Hi, greetings. I'm Inguz. I'm boat expert here in Örebro, in Sweden, and today we're gonna take a look on how to winterize your outboard engine. Okay, the winter is coming, and it's time to winterize your engine. We have talked with the guys, and there is so many different kind of ways how to do it and so on. But I thought it could be useful for those who have boats and will do it by themselves, not to use some experts help. So we're gonna go to the whole process. I hope I explain as good as possible because we're gonna go through all the process. So what we have here is a 6 horsepower Mercury engine, and we're gonna the same procedure is for all outboards. It doesn't matter. For inboards it's a bit more difficult because you must take pipes out and so on, but let's try it out. Let's try it out and let's go for it. So first thing you want to do is to stabilize your fuel, and there is a special product for it. It's called marine, but it's stabilizer, ethanol fuel treatment and stabilizer. That's what you want to have, and it is so concentrated. So basically, if you buy one, you can use it for like 10 years. So in this case, we will have some like 3 liters fuel, and for this there is a chance to read how much do you need, but it's for this engine, for like 3 liters of fuel, it's around 3.5 milligrams of that one, and then we just blend it with the benzene. So the thing is, it's the rate is approximately 30 milliliters to 40 liters, 38. It depends on the product, but it's you don't need this thing much. So what do you do? Take there is a chance to measure how much you need, but basically we need only a little bit. So I'm gonna add to fuel. Okay. And this one you can store for the next winter. So mix it well. Then you open your tank. And fill it up. What it does, it helps to avoid corrosion. I have to focus now. Okay, there we go. It's too much, but okay. We have to we will survive. I poured a little bit too much in when I have mixed, so I think the concentration could be all right, because it needs just really a little bit, and just shake it a bit so it gets better mixed. So the next thing you do is to open up the cover. You don't need it for a while. Put it down. Then you see there is a fuel filter. It has maybe even some water, because it's in these modern ages the benzene blend can also have some a bit of water, and who knows, there's some condensate, could be a lot of things. It's quite simple. The idea is to remove the fuel filter and also release the all fuel from the carburetor that you have now in, because you don't want to wait like 5 hours when all this fuel will be burned, so the blended fuel can get in. Close everything. You can leave it the air open, doesn't matter. Then you remove. You want to take away filter, but as it's connected system, so you may end that the fuel will come out more. So you prefer a screwdriver, because you must open also a little screw on the carburetor on the lowest part, so the fuel can run out. The fuel that is not mixed, because it's still in the system, and for these engines they are so they don't use much fuel when they go, so you can wait otherwise like 2 hours or something. Then you get start use the fuel that you have mixed. So what we do, we just take out, we remove filter, and the fuel comes out. It's normal. You're gonna close the air so it doesn't come so fast. It's not much, but anyway. So when that's done, everything from the fuel filter must be out, must be empty. Then you take the screwdriver and open the screw from carburetor. See, there's the benzene is running out. So I want to have it empty. It's pretty low. Now it's stopped there, and there's nothing in the filter either. You can change filter also if it's needed. It depends on how you drive and how regular you make maintenance and so on. I have changed the filter recently, so I don't need to do it. So then when it's done, you put back the pipe. And put the filter back in its place. So there's a little preventer for a cable. So basically, you place it back so how it was. So there you have fuel. You can open it and so on. And now what we're gonna do? We're gonna run engine for let's say some minutes. I recommended is 5, but let's see how hot it gets, because the oil inside the 4-duct engine must be a little bit heated up, and this so it can you can drain it much better. So same actually goes for in Swedish they call växelhus, but gearbox. It's better if you get it really hot, but in this case, in this setting, it probably will be not so easy to do. Anyway, we're gonna start the engine, run it for some time, and then we're gonna proceed with next procedures. And this will be to take all the oils out, also from here, also from gearbox, because there could be some water in the systems, and we don't want to have it in the winter when everything freezes. Make sure that you always have water. You always can change the stream. So then this stabilized fuel, things in the system. It prevents the corrosion and a bit cleans also all the piping. Because when a service comes to boats, there is very often problems with the carburetor. And when there's problems with the carburetor, it's dirt and some little particles and everything, you want to prevent them. I can say it will not get really hot because the water is cold, and here in Sweden it's pretty cold weather, so it looks sunny and nice, but it is a bit chilly. I'm gonna save time and shut it off and then come back after 5 minutes. Okay, now the engine is warm. We're gonna stop it. And now we are changing the oils. Taking all the insulations away from there. The winterization process is a bit messy process. I completely understand if some boat owners would like to give it to professionals, so it's a bit dirty. So when that's done, you put something under, you don't want to make a lot of mess. Anyway, there will be a mess. So, you open I'm gonna start with the gearbox. Normally you have 2 screws. It's the one down and one in upper part. And this is where you start with the lower one. Make sure you have right tools and don't damage the screws. Like me now, it's too big. Okay, I have to take another screwdriver. Coming back. Okay, that should work much better. So. No, it doesn't work either. Okay, I can take another one, smaller one. Okay, now we got the right tool. I'm gonna open, same procedure. Okay. And I just slightly open the upper one too. Okay. So. The next thing is that you just screw these screws out and the oil will come out. You start with the lower one, place it in the place where you know, and then you open the upper one, then the oil will come much faster out. Let's see how it goes. When you are done there, for this engine, for bigger engines, you have screws on the sides and in the backs for Hondas and so on, so where you can let the engine oil out. And for that, in this case, for this Mercury, there is a key 10, and there is a little turn engine. It's more comfortable. There is here under the engine the place where you can unscrew it, but be prepared not to make a lot of mess. You put something under it. Okay, it's not that. Oh, at least then. I took another one, but it's not. Yeah, it's 10, and it's all right. Take something under, because otherwise it's gonna drop all over the engine leg and so on. Okay. I'm not sure it's possible to see from there, but it's, the oil is coming out. As it should be. And if you don't warm it up, it becomes much slower, and you cannot get all oil out you would like to. I take this out, so I'll also let some air in. Perfectly horizontal. It must be horizontal, so I get everything nicely out. Okay, when that's done, you can close the upper part. You can do it better directly, even when a little some drops. Recommended is to wait for some time. Then you can be sure that you get out as much oil as possible. And put the screws back. Now it looks like this, and it's actually pretty good. But change anyway. So for engine oil, it depends how much you drive, but I change every year, but you can also change every 2 years. It will be not so bad. Now the paper gets handy. We tighten the screw. Also with not all power you got, be gentle there. So that's done, and we can start to fill up the engine oil, because the gearbox oil it's better it has some time to come out because it's cold. For this Mercury, you can check out how much oil it needs. Some engines have some stickers where it's written, otherwise you can find it on the internet. In this case, you need to have 450 milliliters, and I have exactly 450 milliliters. We're gonna check it out afterwards anyway, and look at that level is right. And don't overfill. It's not alright if it's more oil, because then it's it changes the pressures in engine. That's not what you want to have. And if you have filters, you also change the oil filter. And you put a little bit less oil than you are recommended, then you drive for 5 minutes. Then the new oil filter will be filled with oil, and you will get less oil. Then you must open it and refill it again, so you get the right level. It varies around 200 grams, 300 grams or something. Screw it back in, check it out. For these engines you can even see how much you get. Okay. Yeah, looks that I must add a little, let's say some 30 grams, 40 grams, not much, but I'm gonna do it afterwards, after some time. So the next step is to fill the gearbox with oil. So you take, in the shops you can buy, normally it's like in the system where you can pump it and you can get the oil in. I can use the same procedure. Make sure that you get the right oils, of course. And it's written all in your manuals or anywhere. And when it's full, you will see that the oil will gonna come out from the upper screw. Then you know that this is level and you are good to go. Doesn't require much for these small engines. Make sure your screws are ready. And all the seals are in place and in good condition. This engine is well maintained, I must say. That's why I don't really should worry about these ones. But I always check, of course. You should too, because you don't want to have any water in the gearbox. That's for sure. And now I see it's coming out. You can close it directly now, but I like to push a bit more. And you see that there are bubbles coming out. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But anyway, so when it's done, so you just close it. You hold it there, open. Okay, sorry. You'll close the upper first, because when you will not have air in upper part, then there will come much less oil out from the lower part. Nozzle needs to be perfectly tight. You can do it with the hand. Nail. Just nail like a screwdriver. It works pretty well. So, and then you take it out and close the lower part. And try to be as fast as possible. So here we go. That's the part that's the messy part. Normally when I work I use gloves, but it's Sunday and it's my boat, and I just came yesterday from lake, so. And I thought, okay, fine, I'm gonna winterize it directly and shoot a video on how to do it. So, when that's done, you just close it. And don't tighten too much. least with the big one. Take the right one. And you are good with the gearbox. The next one, you just make sure that you close also the engine oil screw. Okay, the next process when you have oils changed, you go for all the water system. So for that you use glycol or other antifreeze. It doesn't matter, you must check in your area about the temperatures in winter time. Here in Sweden we go for -33. That's standard, that has been proven that is kind of alright. Surely in Germany you cannot go as much, but we here must. So you put the water back. The water is already mixed with the glycol a bit. We have here in Warsaw we have precise tool that we can measure precise, but now I'm gonna follow the manufacturer's instructions. So when that's in there, you should mix it with something. Why not with a hammer? Here we go, -33. And now is the really important thing. We're gonna run the engine with the coolant, and then we're gonna in the same time spray with it's called fog spray. It's especially for engine conservation, man. It has some Vask-based oily thing inside. So when you're gonna run through the stabilized benzene, you're gonna take care of the fuel system. You have taken in the oiling system. You're gonna will take care of the water system, and this is for air system. So all the it prevents all the same thing, the rust, and it cleans a bit. And the major thing for spraying this one is to have the surfaces inside the engine oil. We're gonna go, it's a two-stage process, and then we start with the first spray. We start the engine, we run it with the coolant, with the stabilized fuel, and you're gonna pull this one into to conserve the air system. And it's a pretty cool thing, because you're gonna start come out a lot of smoke, and the engine gonna die. And we're gonna try to get it died like 3 times. If it's not died, it's okay, fine. It's very struggling then, but normally it just stops, and then you start it again. But don't go fast. Take your time here, because all the systems must have some circulation. So start the engine. and you don't want to waste the glycol. That's why you have that one. Take your time here. No rush. I used to kind of go fast, but in this process you just chill out, let it run for a while. You remember the fuel has already circulated, so basically we are good there. And we see that the glycol is coming out fine. It's already fine there. We start with the spray. Have some fog. For that I love to have a big gas. Stop now, and it looks that we cannot go with cheating here, because it's sometimes it's possible, but actually you have to take off the cover for air filter, and in this case it comes with the gas, and it's not the nicest thing to do, but we have to do it because I cannot get the fog in properly, and of course it has the filters in there. Okay, there are two screws and the gas. Oh, no, it's not gas, it's chock. Okay, that's good, we can survive without it. I'm gonna take the cover off now, but it will take time. I have to change tools for it. Actually, I found a way to cheat. Because there is... Okay, let's get closer. Basically, there was a chance how to cheat. So there is the pipe that goes directly to the tank for gases. So I just took that one away. So that means that I can run the engine and have no issues with it. And just spray it in that the pipe in. So the idea is that you must get that conservation product in the airways. So we're gonna go for it now. So now I have a nice place where to spray it in. So and I can drive slowly. What I do, I spray. Okay, that's the right one. Okay. So we start the engine again. Now it's no need to have in a chock we call. And so we start it as a normal. I hate this trick when it does. Okay, now we're running. Make sure that the whole time you get enough water so the cooling system is working. And then you take your motor conservation thing. Doesn't work as well as planned. Here we go. Smoke is coming, that's a good sign. Let it run, that's sweet. No rush here. Must have some more gas. Isn't it beautiful? That's why they call it fog spray. Tough guy. Still runs. And the water, you must make sure that all the time we have cooling. Very tough engine, it doesn't die. For a bigger engine, 50, 70 and so on, and goes much faster. But anyway, it doesn't need to always be 100% dead. Just make sure you have some oil on the walls and the system. I feel pretty good. I think we have done our job in stage 1. We're going to proceed for this for the next one. So for now, we can shut the engine off, and this will be. So then we can not start it anymore. So it's done. Sweet. So then we can remove all the coolant, and everything is not necessary anymore. I'm gonna switch it off and proceed with the next step from different camera angle, and then it will be like very close to the end. So when it's done with the with this fog spray, make sure you put everything back in the place. In this case there are little O-ring. Put it back. Make sure next season you don't need to think about anything. It's the same with the small screw there, where you have which you have opened to let the fuel out. Make sure that's closed too. Everything must be closed. Basically, if you remove something, you just place it back afterwards, after you have finished it. So I don't like how it's set. It's a bit loose. But it's so how it is. I just tighten it a bit more where I can and put it back so it sets really good. So let's do better. So it's done. These things are back in place. After a job, you normally clean everything, so engine is nice and clean. There's a fog oil everywhere a bit, and so on. So when that's done, the next step you do is you take out the spark plug. Okay. Wow, it's tightened too much. But it's from factory like that, or from other workshop. I think it's for this engine. Is it first winterizing? Maybe, could be, yeah. So you take it out, check it. It doesn't look so good, but anyway. So in the process, what you do, you take the same fog spray and you spray it inside. Doesn't need to be so much. And then take some cloth so you don't get the engine dirty or anything, and you just turn the engine a few times. Doesn't need to be fast or anything, just go so it oils. Do it again like a few times. You can do it like 3 times. It doesn't need to be full with a fog spray, but and once again. So and then you put this spark plug back, and one way how to see that the engine is winterized, at least the fog spray is used, then the next season when you can start the engine, there will be smoke coming out, and it will smoke for a bit, let's say for some minutes, maybe a minute, 2 minutes. It will come the white smoke out, and then you know that the oil is burning down there. Okay, you put the spark plug back, and it's really good if you check all the things, really all that you have removed, replaced, check the oil levels, make sure that everything is set for next season. So you just take the engine, go to the lake, start it and drive it. That's the best way. Otherwise you realize that okay, there is some fuel leakage or anything and you don't have any tools and you are on a lake, and then it gets complicated. Better do it now. And there's one thing you can do too. It cannot harm, it's just better. You take a silicone spray and you can go over the contact where you think that's necessary, especially if you keep the engine where is moisture or something. It just protects. It cannot harm. There's not much wiring here for this engine, but if you have bigger engine, if you have three more tilt and other options, then it's recommended to keep these protected. I cannot do much more. The silicone spray works well also for the rubbers, and it helps not to dry them out. So, but it's really minor thing. But why not? If you take good care of your engine, it's gonna run for years. And yeah, if you do the conservation right, then your engine will run. That we start with that. So and it prolongs the life of the engine. If you miss some steps, if your expert does everything that's necessary, or as you see, the process is quite long and many skip parts, and there's the question, what do you want? If it's well preserved, it will last longer. That's for sure. If it's well maintained, it can last longer. If you change oils, then the oils regularly, it's just good. And if you maintain everything, so it's then you can rely on the engine. And on the water, this is one of the important things, that you can be sure that the engine runs. This is a full process. Oh, I forgot one extra thing. We're gonna do something that rarely anyone does, but it's recommended in general. This is the best practice that you can have. This is something that really rarely anyone does, but it's recommended because of two things. One is that the propeller is all the time in water, and there is water trapped between the fat and everywhere. And the second thing is then if you have some fishing line around there, you maybe cannot see it, but it can damage your seals. So this is when you really take a good care of your engine. But I can say that rarely anyone does it. But we do it now. So we see full process. This engine has served me very well. And this to remove propeller is very easy, and it takes not much time. So why not to do it? There is a little pin that stops the chance that it can open. I got a bit better too. Normally it comes a lot easier. So here we go. So that's the little pin that's in there. Now you see it on your engine. Then I like to put it in gear, so it's easier to open. And it's not tightened a lot. It's normal if it shouldn't be loose, but you don't need to push it all the way and as much as you can. Here it's important that you have the same order, so you know how to put everything back. Different propellers and different engines have different story. Hey, no way. It looks that those who have placed, is there? Maybe there is a fat, but I would say not really. Let's see. Ah, there is some. There is some, yeah. But of course, water too. Looks pretty good. So you just take grease and grease it once more. There is one metal that you can take off too. Seems not in this case. It should be, but it doesn't come off so easy. So I don't want to damage or anything because this is a main tent. But normally it has to come just away. So just put new grease. You saw that I used this one, so I cleaned it a bit. I'll just put nicely on. This also helps you to remove the propeller next time more easy. And those who have faced the situation when they cannot remove propeller, they know it very well that it's important to have grease there. Nice and clean. So, you're ready to go. Put it back. This one back. That is simple as hell. And if you will find some fishing rod, then actually you saved a bit day. Your day. It doesn't need to be tightened very much. You just see for the holes. Okay. There we go. See that there is in line, and then you also have a chance to put back the little pin. Take the longest part outside. So now the pin is back, and you lift it up in the same position like it was, and best don't try to push it like this on the sides. You're gonna damage the propeller there. Just lift it, take a pin, take your time. So, and I love to take the second a little bit down too. Let's see. not 100% necessary, but so here we go. The prop is back. It's in a gear now. That's why it doesn't turn super easy. And now you're done. That's all the winter conservation. It's not hard if you follow the steps. The engine will probably also not die if you miss something, but it's really recommended. There are also experts that say that you can you don't need to use always the glycol. Can work, but definitely not over like 50 horsepower engines, but it's also not recommended at all. You use it always, and it's for outboarders it's a bit different than for inboarders. The steps are in general the same, but you must be very precise. You must know really well what you're doing, and you cannot miss much there, because the water, when it expands in closed systems, then it causes trouble. And if there is a blockage or anything, and how does it freeze? Does it freeze from bottom up or something? There are many factors, and then best you avoid all of them. Then you can sleep really nicely during the winter time. The engine's clear. That's what I do, and that's really up to you. I will just nicely clean it, and that's it. So that's how I do winter conservation, and how I recommend to others. So to go through all the systems. So the oiling, then there's water, air, and what else? Water, air, and fuel. Yeah, there are 4 systems that you have to. I think it was 4 systems that you have to go through. So enjoy.